I do this when I go back to measure 5. This is take a repeat like normal. This is go to the 8. That's for common start. Yes. This is just, we got to do it again, guys. Where? So, you go like this to go back to 5. Like this, but we got to do it all the way back to the beginning. Let's go again. And when I do this, we just keep going to the end. What? Common circumstances.
Good evening. My name is Avery Martin, and I'm Spotswood High School's senior class reporter. On behalf of the class of 2023, it is my pleasure to welcome faculty, staff, family, friends, and of course, my fellow graduates. Please stand as the Harrisonburg High School JROTC color guard posts the colors and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by the Star-Spangled Banner. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner
Please be seated. Welcome, family, friends, Spotswood faculty and staff, and most importantly, my fellow graduates. My name is Natalie Singerling, and I have had the pleasure of serving as the senior class secretary for the class of 2023. While trying to decide what to speak about today, all that was coming to mind was how far we have come as a class. I think about the first day of kindergarten when I met a third of my fellow classmates. At only 5 years old, this day seemed so far away, yet now, that day seems like yesterday. Now, we have finally made it to graduation. I am so proud of everything we've accomplished, and I cannot wait to see what the future holds for each and every one of us. Now, if you are willing, I would like to invite you to bow your head and join me in a blessing over the graduates. I thank you for the opportunity we have been given to learn and grow together as individuals and as a community. The memories we have made and lessons we have learned in the process will forever be cherished. As we go our separate ways and take on our future paths of life, whatever that may entail, I pray for the safety and success of each and every one of these graduates in all of those endeavors. Amen. I have had the joy of sharing the hallways of Spotswood High School with these incredible graduates sitting before us for the past 4 years. We have faced more than we could have imagined in this small portion of our lives, but have done so together. While we may not physically be together after today, we will forever be connected as the Spotswood High School class of 2023. Once again, I would like to welcome you and thank you for coming to the graduation ceremony of the 2023 Spotswood seniors, and it will always be a great day to be a Blazer.
Good evening to our Spotswood families, honored guests, and the graduating class of 2023. What a wonderful group of trailblazers. As we celebrate tonight Spotswood High School's 43rd commencement ceremony, we gather here in the Atlantic Union Bank Center on the campus of James Madison University to celebrate the end of one journey and the start of another for a group of seniors who have completed the task before them. They have overcome, they've pushed through, and encourage each other in order to be here together this evening. As our trailblazers came together for a new school year, our Sources of Strength peer leaders began to share the motto that we are all trailblazers, that no matter our background, we all belong to the Spotswood family. This was vitally important as we're a school community with families from 25 countries who speak 26 languages. So to achieve our goal, we knew that it would be important to learn to speak the universal language of gratitude and kindness. These are two very powerful unifying forces in the world. With gratitude in mind, we must spend a few moments expressing our thanks to those who have been impactful in the lives of our students. First, we must express our thanks to the men and women of our armed services, past, present, and future. Your willingness to put your life in harm's way to protect those you will never meet is a sacrifice that few of us will ever truly understand. To honor you, we ask those who have served, are serving, or currently serve, please rise to be recognized. Closer to home, we have men and women who have such compassion in their hearts that they're willing to give of their time and talents to protect and provide healing for those in need. For those who are in law enforcement, those who are first responders, and those who provide the healing comfort as nurses and doctors, please also rise to be recognized for serving our community. You all are truly the reason we have an outstanding community from which our kids come. To our trailblazer parents and families, thank you. A school cannot stand alone. It must have the support of homes from which our trailblazers travel to us each day. The care and encouragement of your children's education is the push needed on those tough days when none of us want to get out of bed. To our staff and teachers, thank you. The fruits of your labor sit beside you this evening. You have worked late nights preparing lessons and providing feedback on assignments. You work to provide students with opportunities to thrive in your classrooms. This evening illustrates the result of your hard work, your care, and your dedication to your profession and to your trailblazers. Though I will not ask them to stand, I would like to thank and recognize the Trailblazer staff who have been moving on to a new journey, much like our graduates are this evening. Mr. May, Ms. Enninger, Ms. Cumberland, Ms. Runyon, Ms. Osborne, Ms. Llewellyn, and Ms. Smith. Thank you for giving of yourselves so your students felt valued every day. Lastly, I would like to take a moment to share my appreciation to Dr. Oscar Scheichel, who is enjoying his final graduation season as our superintendent. As a principal, I witnessed firsthand the hours he spent working to provide us with resources needed to grow as a school and a school community. As a parent of 2 sons who graduated Spotswood, I appreciate the time given to meet with students, to hear their voices, and care about their thoughts and opinions. And as a friend, I value our conversations that had little to do with school. Instead, it was sharing stories about our families. In each of those roles, I will miss Dr. Scheichel greatly, and I wish him all the best in his next journey in his life. So as a small token of our appreciation, we thought about getting him a rocking chair, but given the fact that he and I are about the same age, we're way too young for that. Instead, I know he'll be on the go, so for those times when he needs to sit down and relax a little bit while on some great adventure, I would like to present Dr. Scheichel with his very own Spotswood camping chair. Yep. So when he takes a seat, he can reflect on all the great things it is about being a trailblazer. Yep. Thank you. Right. Kindness. Kindness is like a pebble in a pond. When we drop the pebble in the pond, it soon disappears, but the impacts of that pebble carry on through the ripples throughout the pond. Each act of kindness is the pebble that quickly disappears, but impacts on others are the ripples that carry on through our lives. With that in mind, I would like to revisit our very first lesson for our trailblazers about kindness and blazer respect. When they arrived at Spotswood, we talked a lot about many things, but the first lesson we talked about was the power of a handshake. When greeting someone, the manner in which you shake a person's hand is a powerful first impression. It may also be the act of kindness that helps someone make it through a very tough day. Now, there are several key components to a very good handshake. First, you must begin with a smile on your face. No one likes to shake a hand of a grumpy person. Second, you must look that person in the eye to indicate you respect them and value them. Third, you must get to that webbing between the thumb and the forefinger. Fourth, apply a firm but not too forceful of a squeeze. And most importantly, you must pair your handshake with a kind word. Once you've mastered that, you get to the advanced stages of handshaking. The first level demonstrates a connection to the person you're greeting. And you do this by taking your left hand and placing it below the right elbow of the person you're greeting. The second and most advanced level is to pull the person in for a handshake hug. This is my personal favorite that is reserved for those you're closest to. It's a sign of mutual respect and admiration. And it's as simple as it sounds. As you shake a hand, you pull them in for a good old one-armed hug. Over the years, I've appreciated the number of connections that I have made with many students through this simple act of a handshake. A handshake and a kind word from a student always makes my day better. Therefore, for one last request from me, that I will make of our class of 2023, I ask you to stand up and greet the trailblazer to your left, the trailblazer to your right, on either side of you with a firm handshake and share a kind word. That does a heart pretty good right there. Thank you all so much. Please be seated. As you begin the next adventure in your life, you need to remember two important truths. First, bestowing kindness, however small, can change the course of the day or the life for both the giver and the receiver. Second, the world is in great need of good people. Learn to become a good person by caring for those around you. Class of 2023, thank you for filling the days of Spotswood High School with kindness and joy. You are a special group of students, and I wish you well in all that you do. Enjoy this evening, be present in this evening, and remember, it's always a great day to be a Blazer.
Shenandoah Valley, beautiful and blue, stands our noble Spotswood High School, glorious to view. May we cherish thy traditions, building love and pride, blazing trails on to glory. Here's to Spotswood High, guarded by the Blue Ridge Mountains, neath the sun's warm glow, stands the home of Spotswood High School, finest place we know. May we cherish thy traditions, building love and pride, blazing trails on to glory. Here's to Spotswood High.
Good evening. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Keegan Thompson. I'm the vice president of the senior class. Before I get started tonight, I'd just like to congratulate all of you for making it here. Could we just get a round of applause real quick for everybody? Yeah, that's good. Looking back on these last 4 years, we all had a lot in common. We showed up Monday through Friday, we took classes together, we joined clubs, we donated to charities to help those in need. We've come together to bring awareness to mental health through sources of strength, and we've raised tens of thousands of dollars to put towards cancer research through Relay for Life. We volunteered at food shelters, animal sanctuaries, religious organizations, just to name a few. We put forth our best efforts in athletic arenas, showcasing our skills in the sports that we love, and several of our classmates proudly represented us in state competitions in their respected sports. And now, tonight, we sit together as a class one last time. We will all leave here tonight, diploma in hand, and walk our own paths to different states, colleges, trade schools, jobs, and wherever else we may end up. Looking forward, all of our lives will be very different. Some of us will remain close, while others will distance themselves from their peers. Some of us will remain focused on our goals, while others may feel lost at times. Some may struggle financially, and others will have enough to spare for those who are less fortunate. Some of us will battle with addiction and mental health issues, while others may seem to have it all together. Some of us will have families, while others may struggle with relationships. Some of us will experience physical issues, and others may be blessed with good health. I'm certain that all of us will experience loss and heartache in our lives, and at times it will not always be easy or seem fair. But although so much of our life is out of our control, some things are within that control. We can choose to work hard. We can choose to be kind. We can choose to have positive attitudes. We can choose to put effort into our relationships, and we can prioritize our health and well-being. I have no doubt that we all have the ability to succeed, but be mindful that your success is not measured by your salary, the size of your house, or how fast your car is. Success comes from the effort that you put into life and the relationships you build along the way, even those that may go overlooked. Those relationships and the work that we have put into our education are the foundation to our success, because nothing in life is more important than your relationships. Healthy relationships can teach us to remain humble, to stay optimistic, and to remain mindful of the needs of others always. Keep in mind that there's always something to learn from your family and friends, even those we may not always see eye to eye with. So as we leave here tonight, never forget the importance of a simple gesture, like holding the door for a stranger, thanking a teacher or a mentor, or telling your parents you love them. Thank you.
Welcome, friends, family, teachers, and guests. My name is Mackenzie Schmidt, and it is my honor to speak before you as Spotswood's 2022-2023 SEA President. Before I begin, I'd like to congratulate my fellow classmates. It was not easy, but we have finally made it to the day we have dreamt about since kindergarten. There's a famous quote about 4 seasons by Yoko Ono. It goes, "Spring passes and one remembers one's innocence. Summer passes and one remembers one's exuberance. Autumn passes and one remembers one's reverence. Winter passes and one remembers one's perseverance." Elementary school speaks to me as the season of summer. Our energetic selves had little to worry about, and instead were focused on the joy and adventure we encountered. It's weird to think that we haven't all grown up together since the very beginning. I often forget that we all attended different elementary schools when we were younger. Those were the good old days. We were just learning what it was like to be a student. We made new friends, gained new experiences, and learned lessons, like do not jump off the top of the playground, otherwise you might break your ankle. I did do that in the recess of 3rd grade. It was a time of self-discovery, and for me, it was the realization that I enjoyed being a leader. It was my first taste of SEA as the secretary. The season of winter describes middle school well. We often look back and think about how cringy or annoying we were, or that it was a cold and dark time. It's a period for reflection. I still remember orientation. We had a smoothie social. It was weird to see so many new faces. It was nerve-wracking to be in a larger school. When the first year started, we were very divided by school, sticking to only those who we knew. But slowly, we started to intertwine. Some of my closest friends now are those who came from a different feeder school or those who moved from Harrisonburg from another area. Middle school can be a strange time for people. It's a big time for change, but we did that together, sticking as a class, and we became better people out of it. Finally, we arrived at high school, the season of spring, a time for growth. I had a lot of people tell me high school would be the peak of my school career, the best 4 years of my life. Whatever happens in the movies is definitely not what happens in real life. Sure, there are plenty of sports games and productions of the arts, many activities to take part in, and lots of fun to be had. But obviously we had a different high school experience than most. To say we experienced an entire pandemic and still made it here is a pretty big deal. For that, I think we all owe ourselves a pat on the back. High school is where we learned who our true friends were, and it's where we became young adults. We made tough decisions and put in a lot of hard work. Now we are all splitting ways and taking separate paths in life. It's a time for change, something new, similar to fall. Some of us plan to attend more years of school, and some of us will immediately enter the workforce, and some of us are still deciding. Whatever you may choose to do, I hope it treats you well. If things get hard, keep in mind that seasons pass, they come and go, and so will your hardships. Good luck, congratulations, and thank you.
Good evening to all guests, parents, teachers, and of course, fellow graduates. I am Rachel Bailey and the senior class president. William Shakespeare once said, "We know what we are, but know not what we may be." Now, I'm not going to stand here and teach us about Shakespeare, as we all know Mrs. Bean would do a whole lot better than me. But I do feel that these words proceed to describe and resonate in this very moment. We sit here today, the class of 2023, after many years of maturing, growing, and developing. In high school, we feel like we are constantly preparing ourselves and looking forward to the future. For some, this is studying for APUSH, worrying about the next quiz in Mr. McGrath's class, or checking Power School 5 seconds after turning in an assignment. For others, it's preparing for the next lab at MTC, studying for the next game, or simply making it to school on time. As we all know, this was a constant struggle. But as we continue in life, we need to not worry about the past assignments or games and what could have been, but rather reflect on how far we have grown. That said, this moment symbolizes the beginning of the rest of our lives. Many of us entered high school excited as we knew that it would be the final chapter of our adolescent life before adulthood. As a freshman, I hoped that high school would be the best 4 years of my life. But at that point, I had no idea what that meant or what my life would look like for the following years. As it continued, we all faced immeasurable obstacles, which caused us to change and adapt to new ways of navigating our education. As daunting and challenging as it was, the experience was immensely gratifying and unforgettable. All of these things would not have been possible without the support from our teachers, parents, friends, but most importantly, the support we, as a class, have given ourselves. If anything, one of the most important things we learned was not to take each other and our time together for granted. As I began to realize this and lived my life accordingly, it changed how I spent my high school career. I continue to replay the past 4 years in my head, but particularly this past year. Starting in August, when we all saw each other in Lowe's, frantically picking out paint for our parking spots, then to senior sunrise, where I was late to the first event of senior year, sporting events and Blazer Crew, our last pep rally, which we won, homecoming, prom, and of course, senior knockout. And it's because of this that I'm happy to say that high school truly was the best 4 years of my life up to this point. Many say that one will never know the value of a moment until it becomes a memory. Tonight, I feel the genuine weight of these words, as I'm sure a lot of you do also. I ask that you glance around and take this moment in. Realize that we will never be this close to the brink of opportunity and the cusp of youth and maturity as we are right now. I cannot wait to see where each of our paths will lead and the opportunities we will take on in the future. Whether we're doctors, mechanics, professional athletes, or teachers, I know we have the potential to take on whatever may be thrown our way. We sit here thinking of what we have endured during our 4 years and how it has shaped our personalities, relationships, and perspectives. And as Shakespeare said, we think we know who we are now up until this moment, but not what we will become in the future. So as good as it is to reflect on past memories, we have so much ahead of us to look forward to. Just like freshman year, most of us have no idea what the next few years will look like. But the difference is we now have the power to control where we want to be, who we want to be, and what we want to be. So do the things you always wanted to do, meet new people, love as many as you can, go to crazy places, hope for the best, and ultimately live life wholeheartedly. And with this, I'm confident to say that we, the class of 2023, will amount to unbounded greatness in anything we set our minds to. And never forget, it's always a great day to be a Blazer. Thank you.
Good evening. I am Mary Peyton Marble, and I served as the 2023 senior class treasurer. Our guest speaker tonight is Coach Tim Leach. Tim Leach moved to the Shenandoah Valley in 1995 after living in East Texas. He graduated from Spotswood High School in 1997, where he played football, ran indoor track, outdoor track, and competed with the one-act troupe. After his time at Spotswood, Coach Leach attended Bridgewater College, majoring in health and exercise science with a minor in special education and coaching. During his time at Bridgewater College, he was a 4-year letterman in football, indoor track, and outdoor track. Coach Leach graduated in 2001. Immediately after graduation, he went on to graduate school at James Madison University for his master's in special education in the spring of 2002. Leach went back to JMU in 2011 while working at Spotswood and received another master's in public school administration in the spring of 2013. Coach Leach worked at Spotswood High School for 21 years, 11 of those as a teacher of students with multiple disabilities. During this time, he coached football, indoor track, outdoor track, and baseball. For the last 10 years, he was the director of student activities until recently, leaving that role in January to work for Edward Jones Investments. He has been married to his wife, Courtney, for 20 years, and they have 4 wonderful children: Chloe, 17, Reese, 14, Sydney, 16, and Ainsley, 6. Please give a warm welcome to Coach Timothy Leach.
Congratulations on reaching this point in your lives. And you guys did it in 4 years, and it only took me 24, so well done. The focus of my speech today is going to be about those 24 years, but I'm going to focus mostly on the time I spent as a student. But your high school careers have been anything but normal. In 2020, we sent you home for 2 weeks to flatten the curve, which ended up being the longest 2 weeks in the history of mankind. And we're not going to go over everything that we went through to get back to school and back to normal those next few years, but during that time, there's a lot of debate, a lot of talk about what we should be doing in school, how we should do school, how we should do activities, and it was kind of toxic, and the adults were going back and forth. But through all that, you, the kids, really were the light that kept us going and kept us fighting for what we wanted to get you guys doing. All right, so thank you for being that light, and thank you for being so positive during that time. All right, and as I go through my speech today, I want you to remember 5 things as I get going. All right, better every day, adjust, purpose, impact, and legacy. So I'm going to go through a couple of those. First, I'll talk about why I moved to Virginia. When I was in 8th grade, my father got cancer, and he missed a year of work going through chemo and radiation. And during that time, his boss changed. And his new boss, didn't like the fact that he missed so much work, so he let him go. Well, you can't really let a guy go because he has cancer. So he called him back, said, "Hey, we'll give you your job back." My dad said, "Yeah, no thanks. I'm not going to work for a guy who does that to someone." So before Google and LinkedIn and Indeed, he hired what they called a job hunter. All right, so the job hunter looked for jobs all over the country and got him a job in Stanley, Virginia at the door plant making interior doors. So born and raised in Texas, lived there for 16 years. Now I was moving to Virginia. I didn't know where the Shenandoah Valley was. I had to go out to the old family station wagon, get the Rand McNally map out, and look it up to see where they were taking me. Needless to say, I was not real happy about the move. All right, so coming to Spotswood, I got here about October of my sophomore year. A little late. I'd started the season playing football in Texas, and so Coach Joe Taylor said, "Hey, we'll let him come out for the football team while he gets here and kind of get him acclimated." So I go out, and my mom and dad were pretty happy, that I was able to play football and be a part of the team. But being a teenager who didn't want to be here, who didn't know anything about Spotswood, what I do, After about 3 or 4 weeks, I quit the team. All right, just to say, you know what, I'm not happy, don't want to be here, so I quit. And it's one of the things that I still regret to this day is quitting on those coaches and quitting on those kids. Now, I would have made no difference on the record of that team. They were pretty good, and I wasn't, all right? But just quitting that team and not being a part of it, really sticks with me. But what really sticks with me after that is how those coaches and teachers responded to me. They could have gave up on me. They didn't know anything about me. They didn't know who I was. They didn't know where I came from, but they reached out more. They said, man, what's going on? Why'd you quit? Are you okay? Every day they just talked to me more and more, and they really believed, that I could do something. I thought they would just kind of let me go. All right, so through that, Coach Dotson was my position coach that year. And he knew I was a new guy, the new kid, didn't have a lot of friends. He said, hey, come on to my classroom and just check it out. Well, in Texas, we didn't have classrooms like Coach Dotson's classroom. We had kids, those kids were in different schools. So I walked in, not knowing anything about it. But when I walked in, it was the most welcoming, loving environment I'd ever been in to this day. So being a new kid without a purpose, without a friend group, I just made 20 of my best friends. All right, and I had them for the whole time I was in high school. So I said, you know what? I found my purpose. I've kind of found my niche here at Spotswood, and this is where I'm going to go. So then we come up to basketball season, my sophomore year. All right, Coach Dotson was the teacher. All right, so we're getting ready to go for tryouts, and I didn't do the things you needed to do to get prepared for basketball. All right, so I showed up, hey, I'm a good peer tutor, I'm a good guy, I'll make the team. So I got for tryouts, and about 3 days later, freaking Dotson cuts me. All right, so it didn't start off real good for me. All right, quit the football team, get cut by my new favorite teacher, so I really didn't know what was going on. All right. So now I had a little bit of time on my hands, and I met Coach Chip Long. He said, hey, why don't you come out for indoor track now that you don't have anything to do this winter? So then I went and did indoor track, pole vaulted, and ended up having a good career. So I adjusted a little bit and tried something new. So then fall came around my junior year. All right, so we come back out. Eric Baylor is now the head coach, and they had just hired a new receivers coach. All right, young man by the name of Rad Danzy. Okay, so he was my receivers coach at my junior year. All right, if anybody knows anything about me and Mr. Danzy, we're both shorter of stature and pretty quick to temper sometimes, okay? So those two things didn't go well together there the first few weeks. So I remember one day I was sitting there in practice and wasn't giving my best and doing what Mr. Danzy asked me to do, so he just politely, calmly, in a Rad Danzy way said, take your helmet off. So, okay, took my helmet off. He said, now take your shoulder pads off. Took those off, and he said, now get out of here. And he kicked me off the field and sent me on home. So I go home, I'm like, Dad, you ain't gonna believe what this crazy Danzy just did to me. He kicked me off the field, made me undress around the field and sent me on my way. And he said, well, maybe tomorrow you'll listen to Mr. Danzy and make it through practice. So we didn't start off great, but I think we've ended pretty good, all right? But after those first few tough situations at Spotswood and being the new kid and adjusting, I kind of found my niche. I found a team. I was doing one act. I found some friends. I finally made some teams and didn't get cut, so I got to participate. But just looking back on it, looking at how those teachers and those coaches treated me and didn't know me from anybody else, and I wasn't giving them the effort or what I think I deserved. I wasn't getting what I deserved from them. But they still kept pouring into me and talking to me and loving on me every day. I was a lost kid, and I found my way because of people at Spotswood and the way I was treated. So I was fortunate enough to be able to go to Bridgewater College and play football, run track, and do all that. So I thought I was kind of a big deal. I made it through Spotswood, going to college, that next step like some of you were going. And so I said, all right, we go there, and the first day they get there, they give you your grades, your practice gear. And that's when you get your jersey number. I was like, all right, go get my jersey number. When in high school, I was number 22. I said, well, maybe, I probably won't get that because we already have upperclassmen with 22. Maybe I'll get a cool number like 2 or, 20, something. So I get my grades, and it had number 113 on it. Have y'all ever seen a guy play football with 113 on his jersey? No. So you could tell what they thought about me coming to Bridgewater, getting ready to play football. All right, but learning the things I learned at Spotswood about perseverance, getting better every day, and adjusting, I said, okay, challenge accepted. Here we go. All right. And so my experience at Spotswood really helped me get through that year and ended up having a pretty decent career there at Bridgewater. Filled with many ups and downs, but had a good time and really enjoyed it. My senior year of college, my dad was here working at the door plant still, and he lost his job. Economy went down, went bad, and he said, no, I'm tired of working for somebody. I'm going to go work on my own. So he was fortunate enough to get on with Edward Jones. You know, in order to get on with Edward Jones, he had to study for about 3 or 4 months and pass these tests. If he didn't pass those tests, he didn't have a job. And he was a forestry guy, so he didn't have a financial background. So I remember coming home in college and watching him study at that table night in and night out and just grinding. And I thought getting a good jersey number in college was pressure. But looking at my dad and seeing what he was doing, that was real pressure. So he got the job and got a job back down in Texas. He's still an Edward Jones investment guy 22 years later. The plan was for me to move back to Texas when that was all done, but I met a girl here, and 24 years later, here we are. All right. So my first year out of college, I was able to get a job at Montevideo Middle School, teaching students with disabilities, and then I was coaching football. And then my second year, I got over and got into Spotswood, and I got to go in there with Coach Dotson's program for 11 years, excuse me. And for the past 10 years, I've had the honor and the blessing of being the activities director at Spotswood High School, my dream job. And so when I think about why I do what I do and how we do it, I live my life by one motto, a quote by Jackie Robinson: life is only important in the impact it has on the lives of others. And those teachers and coaches and everybody at Spotswood impacted a young man who was lost, and that's how I wanted to live my life and give back to the community that gave so much about me. And if you've ever worked with me or ever been in a meeting with me, you probably know I'm not real shy about speaking my mind. All right, if I think something can be done better, I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to bring it up. Whether it's popular or not, I'm going to fight for it. All right, so that goes to another quote by T.S. Eliot: if you don't push the boundaries, you'll never know where they are. All right, so don't be scared to push the boundaries a little bit and fight for what you believe. All right, my mom was my biggest supporter, like moms are. I could do no wrong most of the time. All right, and my mom was also my best friend. And I had a 15-minute drive to Spotswood and a 15-minute drive home every day. So on the 15-minute drive in, I called my mom, we had a conversation. And on the 15-minute drive home, I'd call her back and tell her how my day went. And she was always there and always had my back. She knew the battles that I thought I was fighting. You know, she was either on my side, or she would say, you know what, Tim, you're kind of being a little too much right now. You know, you're being a pill. I didn't know what being a pill meant, you know, but every time I talked to her, she's like, you're being a pill. I think Mr. Dansley even said that a couple of times too in some meetings that we had. But when we go back to be a pill, I said, all right, Mom, great. I'm going to live my life and be a pill. Better every day, adjust, purpose, impact, and legacy. So what does it mean to get better every day? All right, be better in every role that you have. As a son, a daughter, a friend, a cousin, be the best version of yourself in everything that you do. You got 2 choices every day. You're going to get better or you're going to get worse. You're never going to stay the same. All right, so at the end of the day, think about what you do to get better, or if you didn't, think about what you got to do to improve. All right, and when things don't go your way, I always say, don't get bitter, we got to get better. And the price of failing is temporary, but the regret of not trying will last you forever. All right, you've done some good things. You've obviously had great accomplishments, but this is not the peak. It's about getting better and taking it to that next level. And give back. Make every place and everyone you come into contact better because you were a part of it. Leave your workplace and your school better than it was before you got there. The second phase of my new motto in life was adjust. All right, when things seem challenging or aren't going according to plan, you need to evaluate what you're doing, all right, and adjust it. When things seem daunting and they seem too big, one step at a time. There's an old saying that says, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Things are going to get tough. There's going to be big things you got to do, but just knock it out one step at a time. Like Coach Saban says for Alabama, just trust the process. And I also talk about, everybody says adversity, builds character. I'm not a real big believer in that. I think adversity reveals your character. And if you don't know who you are in an adverse situation, if you don't like who you are, then you need to fix that in times that aren't adverse situations, okay? So seek out different ways to do things and try new things. Next phase is purpose. You hear this at all the speeches you go to, everywhere you go. Find your why. Why do you do the things that you do? You just had 4 of the craziest years any high school class has ever had to go through. But what kept you going? What was your purpose? All right, having a purpose in life is one of the fundamental factors of being happy. Without it, you'll just live your life less focused and less efficient. Even worse, you'll often feel restless and stressed because you won't feel aligned with the things you're doing. All right, set goals. Now, a goal without a plan is just a wish. Don't set goals, but not have a plan, okay? And my purpose and everything I've ever done was to make my mama proud. That's all I've ever focused on. And if I do something today and I think, would my mom be proud of that? If the answer is yes, I probably had a pretty good day. If the answer was no, I better change what I was doing, all right? So it goes back to, now we're gonna go to impact. All right, what that means, serve those who served you. How are you impacting those around you right now? How good of a friend are you? Are you a go-to person? You know, what does that mean? If something good happens in your life, who are the first two people you call? When something bad happens, who are the first two people you call? Those are your go-to people. So be go-to people for people in your life, somebody that they can depend on and they can always go to for advice. Also, if something happens to you today, everyone you've interacted with in the last month, how are they gonna think about you? How did it go? And also, be present. Never be too busy when you're interacting with somebody. Put the phone down, all right? Be where your feet are. And every moment you're in, be there and be present, all right? If you go to a cool concert, don't watch it through your phone screen. Watch it through your eyes, take a picture, and you'll be good, all right? And impact by serving. You can serve in different ways. You can be successful by being true to yourself, all right? I'm gonna go back to a little bit of my athletic director career here. We got two guys in the building that I love and respect, all right? You got Coach Chris Dotson, who I talked about earlier, and you got Coach Chad Edwards, you know, two of my favorite guys. You couldn't find two more different dudes in the entire planet if you tried, okay? You got Coach Edwards, you go to one of his practices, it's every 10 minutes, the buzzer's going off, we got a detailed plan. Do not interrupt his practice or you may get yelled at, all right? So he's gonna go by the book. And then you go over here to Dotson's practice and you don't know what's about to happen, what kind of props are coming out, what we're doing, you know, so it just, I don't think he knows what he's doing until he does it, you know, but you know what? It always works out. Two of the most successful basketball coaches in the state of Virginia, and they do it two completely different ways, all right? So just be who you are and be true to yourself. The next one's legacy, all right? My mom passed away 8 years ago on May 15th. May 11th, 2015, my dad called and said, you need to get down here. She doesn't have much longer. So I went to Dr. Lehman, who was the principal at the time, and said, I gotta go. Told a couple coaches, I don't know when I'm gonna be back. They said, we got you. I drove 20 hours, got home, was able to spend the last couple days with her and be there for her last breath. But I didn't know about legacy until those next couple of days. You know, when I went to her funeral and I started talking to people, and they all said, Lou Ann Leach, she made me feel like I was the most important person on the planet. You know, I thought she just treated me that way, but apparently she treated everybody that way. So that was her legacy, and that's how you leave a legacy, all right? Also, there's no substitute for hard work. Build your legacy through your work ethic. Also, if you live in the past, that's all you're ever gonna be. Yes, what you've done is great, but don't live there, let's move forward. And successful people are gonna do things unsuccessful people don't wanna do. All right, get there first, leave last. There's no secret to being successful. You just have to put in the work. And also own your success. Be proud of who you are and be confident in the work you've put in and what you get. I'm gonna end with a couple things. Leaving Spotswood in January was probably one of the hardest decisions I ever had to make, all right, because of the people and because of the coaches and because of those people who impacted me so long ago, and I wanted to give back because of what they gave me. Just like my dad, I made a career change, opened up an Edward Jones office 5 minutes up the road from Spotswood, so I'm still going to be in the area, all right? So for my family, my 4 kids, and my life, it was a better decision for me at this time, but I'll always cherish my time at Spotswood, and I'll always be a Blazer. So be intentional about keeping up with those sitting around you. I hear it all the time from people my age. Man, I wish I would have texted them, or I wish I would have called them, or I wish I would have stayed in touch. So if you're ever driving down the road and a classmate or somebody you know just pops into your brain, that's telling you, reach out to them. Send them a text, send them an email, whatever. Please be intentional. Be the one who gets the group chat going. Be that person, all right? And my challenge to you, find 3 people this week that have impacted you at Spotswood, whether it be a teacher, a peer, a coach, custodian, anybody that you think has impacted you in a positive way, and send them a note, send them a text, send them something, because you don't know what that's gonna mean when you give it to them. So be thankful. All right, so the 5 things I just spoke about: better every day, adjust, purpose, impact, and legacy. Separate, they're all great things. But if you put them all together, that's strong and you can get a lot of things done. So don't be afraid of what's next. Don't be anxious. Don't be worried. Be excited, be energetic, and be open. And always be a pill, just like my mama said. All right? Go make the world a better place. It's up to you. And we know Mr. Dansley always says it's a great day to be a Blazer, but also you'll always be a Blazer. Congratulations and good luck.
Tonight, we are giving special recognition to our honor graduates and members of the National Honor Society. The members of the 2022-2023 National Honor Society are wearing a gold honor sash with the NHS insignia. We would also like to take a moment to draw your attention to the program. The students with a filled diamond by their names are honor graduates. They have maintained a cumulative grade point average of at least 3.35 throughout their high school career. All of our honor graduates are wearing gold cords. The number of cords they are wearing represents their grade point average. Those students wearing 3 honor cords are our highest honor graduates. They have a cumulative GPA of 3.81 or higher. We will be specifically recognizing those students as they receive their diplomas with the words "with distinction" read after their names. We would like to ask those students graduating with distinction to stand now as a group and be recognized. Thank you. We will also be recognizing graduates who participated in the Massanutten Regional Governor's School with the words "Governor's School" read after their names. Congratulations to all of these students. At this time, I would like to ask all seniors to rise. Dr. Scheichel, Chairperson Lohr, and Mr. Danzy, I would like to present to you the class of 2023. John Reese Adkins. Alana Melesha Agosto Rivera. Mariam Kudur Ahmed with distinction. Abdullah Ahmed Al-Mari. Muntarar Rafid Oraibi Al-Tamimi. Alex Alberto Morales. Owen McFarland Albertson with distinction. Jacob Alexander Amberg with distinction. Luis Esteban Amortegui Vargas. Serenity May Anderson. Jose Ariel Andrade Reyes. Emma Jane Anthony. Anayeli Antonio Espindola with distinction. Perla del Mar Asensio Ruiz. Ryan Strong Asfa. Muhammad Ashek Atom. Mubarak Ashek Atom. Rachel Elizabeth Bailey with distinction. Edward Baltasar Requeno. Luis Antonio Basilio Calixto. Rebecca Ann Bauman. Christian Baltasar Benitez. Mirelsi Emily Benito Basilio. Giovanni Benito Gutierrez. William Ware Blackwell. Cherith Brooke Bradshaw with distinction, Governor's School. Oliver Riley Brown with distinction. Seth Michael Bukeo. Gracie Cheyenne Butzler. Elder Alexis Cabrera Romero. Ana Lilia Cacho. Damian Alexander Campbell. Kyler Joseph Kappen. Jacob Douglas Carson. Jermaine Onel Chaluisant Vega. Avery Grace Chandler with distinction. Carter Joseph Cavelli with distinction. Rowan Leodon Craddock with distinction. Hezekiah Chadbourne Cross. Fernando David Cruz Bonilla. Drake Thomas Cup. Johanna Dabagyan with distinction. Ian James Arnold Davis. Kate Elizabeth Davis. Kelsey Ann Arnold Davis with distinction. Yvonne de los Santos Rios. Zoe Elizabeth Diebel with distinction, Governor's School. Gabriel Hayden Jean Dietz. Mina Delaire. Lauren Grace Stoffelmeyer with distinction. Hans Dong with distinction. Charis Jacqueline Donzi. Sarah Grace Dunham with distinction. Amber Brooke Dupuy. Benson Malone Edwards. Leah Nancy Feldman with distinction. Kevin Wayne Fink. William Henry Flint. Kaylee Vanna Flores. Jordan Nyla Flowers. Jaden Mikkel French. Joel Antonio Galeano Molina. Grace Marie Gardner with distinction, Governor's School. Marjorie Carolina Gaspar Pablo. Maxwell Andrew Gass with distinction, Governor's School. Courtney Paige Gaylor with distinction. Caressa Nicole Gibson with distinction. Kaylin Elizabeth Glover with distinction. Grace Elizabeth Good with distinction. Vivian Kate Grayson with distinction. Christopher Aiden Grief. Jaden Alejandro Guerrero with distinction. Marcela Janet Guevara. Stella Josephine Ryan Hale with distinction. Sarah Elizabeth Halliburton. Dylan Matthew Hall. Mackenzie Lee Hall. Hannah Lynn Hansen. Brody Isaac Harbeck. Margaret Rose Hart. Emily Hernandez Alvarado. Joshua Hernandez Rosario. Jabsiri Denise Hernandez Velasquez. Logan Joshua Heiss. Allison Elizabeth Hoffman with distinction. Caitlin Renee Hoover. Leah Jordan Hottinger. Kira Meadow Humphrey. Leah Dianara Ingram. Joshua Keith Irvin II. Thomas Ross Utica with distinction, Governor's School. Caleb Lee Gerals. Graham Stephen Jestet. Jacob Tyler Johnson with distinction. Joseph Michael Johnson, Jr. with distinction. Daniela Isabel Johnston. Aspen Elizabeth Jones with distinction. Braxton Lee Jones with distinction. Allie Michelle Justice. Sarah Ahmed Kareem. Cameron Lee Keck. Angel Christine Kern. Zoli Dulcinea Tallulah Khalil with distinction. Dylan Josiah King. Daniel Andre Klemenko with distinction. Russell Joseph Kramer with distinction, Governor's School. Haley Marie Kubler. Adriana Elizabeth Kurtz. Corbin Lee Lamb. Jennings Dale Lambert III. Jarrett Scott Lance. Parker Timothy Lenz. Chang Lin. Charles Marshall Liskey. Obed Alexis Lopez Vasquez. Anna Sergeyevna Lvova with distinction. Edward Davidge McGill with distinction. Mary Peyton Marble with distinction. Richard Dean Marshall with distinction. Jennifer Marte Santibáñez. Avery Lee Martin with distinction. Cole Scott Martin with distinction. Joseph Martinez Martinez. Scarlett Alejandrina Martinez. Christian Martinez Reynoso. Connor Banks Mather. Casey Owen McClure with distinction. Julie Catherine McKinney. Anaya Jade McKell. Savannah Diane Miller. William Benjamin Morgan. Brooke Joy Morris with distinction. Connor William Morris. Riley Grace Morris. Benjamin John Moyer with distinction. Jonah Marcus Mullen. Iman Najib with distinction. Tyler Sean Nash. Dialine Bautista Navarro. Kaylee Jean Neff. Sarah Jean Nelson. Sarah Mackenzie Noonlist with distinction. Sophia Hong Wen with distinction. Chloe Madeline Nutty. Kylie Shay Palmer. Dia Chaitan Patel with distinction. Alexander Rayfield Perry. Alice Pincheroli. Jonathan Michael Potter. Gabriel James Preston. Caroline May Prier. Mays Allah Kazem. Sierra Star Rodriguez. Leah Christine Rogers. Daniel Romanchuk with distinction. Adam Matthew Ross. Jalen Faith Runyon with distinction. Eugenia Salazar Santos. Blake Morgan Samuels. Celeste Petra Santana. Tucker Kane Scafidi. Mackenzie Madison Schmidt with distinction. Catherine Elias Simon. Nicholas Jordan Sheets. Trenton Leroy Sheffer. Chloe Renee Shepard with distinction. Brooklyn Noel Shiflett. Leah Faith Shiflett. Trevor Donald Shiflett. Archer Joseph Shoup. Caroline Faith Shoup with distinction. Brody Daniel Sigmund with distinction, Governor's School. Kendall Grace Simmons with distinction. Logan William Simmons. Natalie Rose Singerling with distinction. Jonathan Michael Smith. Marshall William Smith with distinction. Madeline Reagan Souther. Gabriel Schuyler Stickley. Chloe Nicole Stone with distinction. William James Stowe. Aiden Travis Strong with distinction. Devin Alexander Struther. Kristen Virginia Swartz. Faith Jenna Taylor. Aaron Christopher Templin. Keegan Gaskins Thompson with distinction. Sebastián Daniel Trinidad Sayas. Ellie Rose Trout with distinction. Ethan Michael Turner. Stephen Gray Erglovich. Daniel Alexander Vargas Acevedo. Karen Rubí Velasco Labra. Victoria Alexandra Velázquez. Gilberto Ignacio Vicente Márquez. Mark Patrick Visvalingam, with distinction. Thomas Anthony Walsh. Camila Lynette Washington, with distinction. Christian Joel Watts. Malachi Machiavelli Weaver. Clara Love Weiler. Isaac Samuel Wenger. Addison May White. Jason Michael Wilkins. Donnell Vincent Williams. Lindsay Paige Williams. Jimmy Wayne Williamson, Jr. Micah Manley Wingfield, with distinction. Danita Volmarans, with distinction. Vincent Wu. William Wu. Elsie Lee Yancey. Jayana Sherelle Yancey. Aaron Yo, with distinction. Melana Anna Zaichenko.
Use it later tonight. Each day is a blessing, and it will be up to you to find a way to enjoy and make the most out of each opportunity you receive. You do this by following these simple pieces of advice. 1, work hard and be dedicated to a task. 2, be straightforward and honest in all that you do. 3, always be prepared to give a firm handshake and look a person in the eye. 4, read your email. 5, lend yourself to others. I will conclude our time together by sharing the words of an unknown author that perfectly illustrate an incredible way to live a life. During my time as a teacher and a coach at Spotswood, I was blessed to have special students in my life. One of those students shared these words with me, and I've tried to live by them each and every day. I hope they have meaning for you as well. This is the beginning of a new day. I've been given this day to use as I will. I can waste it or use it for good. For what I do today is very important because I'm exchanging a day of life for it. When tomorrow comes, this day will be gone forever, leaving something in its place that I have traded for it. I want it to be a gain, not a loss, good and not evil, success and not failure, in order that I shall not regret the price I have paid for it. At this time, I ask my trailblazers to please rise. On behalf of the faculty and staff of Spotswood High School and the power vested in me by the Rockingham County Board of Education and the Commonwealth of Virginia, I declare you graduates of Spotswood High School, class of 2023. You may now move your tassels. Congratulations, graduates, and may you be blessed in all that you do in life. I am so very proud of each and every one of you.